Hello, hello. Thank you so much for joining me today. Shalom. Today is another installment of Health Watchers Live, and we are going to be talking today about menu planning and giving you some recipe resources for your journey here. This is a community I felt like the Father wants to build of His people who are pressing into Him and learning how to discipline ourselves and do what it takes to be healthy and to be strong so that we can expand His kingdom. Because if we are sick and in bed all the time, we cannot expand His kingdom. And that's where our family was just a very short 2 years ago. We were doing what we thought was healthy. We were eating organic. We we're using essential oils. We even ate clean. We are a Torah observant family, and so we ate biblically clean. And it was something that I cried out to the Father about because we were still sick all the time. And kind of the short form of our testimony is that it was August of 2024, and my oldest daughter was sick for almost an entire month with pneumonia. And it was very bad, where for 2 weeks straight, I was sleeping with her in her bed to make sure she didn't die, is how I felt. Like she was not breathing. She would wake up not able to breathe. And so I was helping her with, a nebulizer and just trying to do our best. And I cried out to the Lord. I was like, Lord, this is not working. I don't know what piece I'm missing, because we've been on this health journey, honestly, for about 10 years. And the Father sent a friend to us, and she told us about Dr. Brett at Divine Design Natural Health. And I believe he gave us that missing piece. I did not believe it was as simple as he has taught us. But over the last 2 years, we've learned that it is as simple as decreasing your toxins and increasing your nutrition, the nutrition that goes into our body. Our bodies rebuild itself every 7 years. You can be assured of that. Isn't that a beautiful number, that the Lord made it so that our bodies rebuild from every cell in your body, every single cell. So the question is, what are you giving it to rebuild? If you are giving it cardboard and Scotch tape, it's not going to look very good in 7 years. And what our doctor tells us, our naturopath doctor tells us, is that where you are right now with your health is a result of what you've been putting in your body for the last 7 years. So today is the day you can start making a difference. You can start changing what you put in your body. And that next bite that you put in your mouth is going to either be a bite of food that builds your body up or doesn't give your body anything to rebuild. And you're going to continue on that downward spiral of not healing and not seeing the health that you want to see. So the other part of that is that when you are already sick and really struggling with your health, it takes a really intense time period to start seeing your body's health turn around. What Dr. Brett does is he just really put us on the lockdown as far as the things we were eating, making sure everything went into our bodies, that everything that went in was just extremely nutritionally, what's the word I'm looking for? The word is escaping me. I think I need some more nutrition. Just dense. There it is. Nutritionally dense. So that your time of healing, that intense time, like if you're dealing with acute illness, is shorter. And so he works with his students and encourages you for that first 90 days of where you are really focusing on your health, that you get rid of everything that is not super nutritionally dense. So especially during those first 90 days, we got rid of all grains, all potatoes, all white potatoes, corn, all processed sugars and artificial sugars. And we really limited our natural sweeteners. So Yes, I know that is the first question. That was the first question we asked. Like, what sugars can we eat? Can we eat fruit? And yes, God designed fruit, and there are some sweeteners that you can eat, but I would honestly limit it to Shabbats. We still do that for the most part to make sure that our Shabbats are exceptionally sweet, but those sweeteners are coconut sugar, honey, maple syrup, and date syrup in certain forms. And if you limit your sweeteners to those and only do them on Shabbat, you will be much better off, and you will see a much faster turnaround of your body. So yeah, that was kind of all the introduction. It is not an easy path. It absolutely is not, and I get it. I've been there. But I had gotten to the point in my health journey where I had tried every diet. I had tried all the fads. I had tried to find that magic bullet, and I hadn't found it. And I cried out to the Lord. That was probably my first mistake, that I didn't go to him first. And he brought me to Dr. Brett, who fed us a very simple solution, and that was decrease your toxins and increase your nutrient intake. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Is we're going to talk about menu planning to just to help support that nutrient intake. A few weeks back, we talked about toxins and how to reduce those. I can post a link in this once we upload this to the channel of the video that talks about toxins and what you need to be looking for with that. But let's jump into our menu planning, because what is in your pantry and what you stock in your house is probably one of the most important things, and what will determine what you go to and what you snack on, and therefore what your health is. We've been doing this for 2 years now, and so what our pantry looks like now is very different than what it looked like 2 years ago, even 1 year ago. As your journey goes along, you will find those things that you really appreciate and that you rely upon. But let me just kind of give you some general applications with your menu planning and with your pantry planning, recipe planning, that I think are kind of universal for everyone in their journey. And so I think it can probably apply to everyone. First and foremost, if you can learn 10 good recipes, and this is what I've taught my girls, 10 good recipes that are a go-to for you every night, every evening, let me put it that way. Every evening, you can do a rotation, and we have our rotations. We do chili, we do meatloaf, we do taco salads, we do eggs, we do grilled chicken with veggies. Those are some really core staples for our family. And if you notice, we center it around ground beef and chicken. And so if you can figure out what your favorites are as far as your favorite meats, and then build that out to your favorite meals, don't feel like you have to be a foodie. That is a journey unto itself. That's where I was prior to this. And I felt like I had to have something special every single night of the week, and it became very, very much of a burden. It was tough. But if you can just rest in the just the peace of knowing that, hey, I have in my pantry everything I need to just grab something and make it when need be, you will find so much peace in that. So in my pantry, I always keep eggs. I hard boil them a lot because that is a great snack. Breakfast for dinner is also a very easy, quick meal. I always have beef, ground beef, and beef roasts. I always have some sort of lamb, usually, because we love lamb. And then I oftentimes have chicken as well. If we get tired of the red meat rotation, I'll have chicken. We do not have a lot of fish, much to my sadness. I love fish, but here in Tennessee, it's just not much of a, we can't find much good fresh salmon or any white fish for that matter. So it's kind of tough with that, but if you have a really good resource for that, that's amazing. Rotate fish in there. I always keep beans and legumes on hand. That is also important. It's important for variety more than anything. And then our favorite vegetables. I always have onions and garlic, and then tomatoes, cabbage, broccoli, carrots. And then we have our smoothie makings, which we don't really use otherwise, but spinach and kale, we have that. And Brussels sprouts, actually. We use a lot of Brussels sprouts, and the kids love those roasted up. So, I mean, that's like the core of what I keep in our refrigerator all the time. How simple is that? Like, I could literally list it, maybe 30 items, 25 or 30 items. And then for snacks, we usually have nuts, apples, chomps are really good as long as they're the grass-fed ones and don't have any additives, 0 additives. Hummus, carrots, celery, nut butter. We make our own nut butter. Those are kind of our snack staples. So the way a very efficient kitchen works is when you streamline everything. So I don't do, to be honest, a lot of menu planning anymore. I kind of have my rotation. I know what I have available to me, and it bites me a lot of times, comes back to bite me when I don't menu plan, because if we're gone all day and I forgot to put a crock pot in, that's tough. So if you can kind of look at your week ahead, grab your planner. This is my Balabusta planner. I love this planner. I've used this for years. In it has your weekly menu plan. You can jot down what you're having, and then your grocery list. And you can even cut this off and take it with you to the grocery store. And so that allows you to kind of have an idea of what your week is going to look like. And it's right next to what your week looks like. This is in November, so nothing's written down. But we have, our regular evening stuff. We make sure to plan that out. We plan a crock pot on that day if we have something coming up. So that's the very basics. Now, our recipes that we go to, so many of them are in the Real Food Made Simple recipe book. This is an incredible book. And so many of our recipes that we've learned to rotate in are in here. Oh, I forgot our stuffed peppers. We do stuffed peppers, stuffed zucchini a lot. We love that. Or we do a mixed bowl, a Mediterranean mixed bowl, or whatever it is you have on hand. You put that in there. The other thing that I would suggest that will make a very big impact on your health is learning how to prepare things how your ancestors prepared them. Nourishing Traditions is the book that I have been learning from for probably 5 years now. And it is so important to learn how to soak your beans, how to soak your legumes, how to make nut butters, how to make mayonnaise from scratch, how to make your condiments from scratch. And if you're just starting out, the Real Food Made Simple is a great place to start, because even your condiments are covered in the back, how to make your condiments. So those types of things are so useful in the grand scheme of menu planning and your recipes. I don't see anybody online now. We did have a couple people earlier. If you do get online and have a question, post your questions in the comments. I'm happy to address them, whatever is on your mind today and any given day during our Q&As. Now is the time for Q&A if you have any questions about that. So post your questions if you have anything on there. I'm trying to think of some questions that I had this week. We have been fielding questions from friends quite often, and I need to write them down so that I can talk about them here. But if there are no questions for today, I'll give it another minute or so. We will just close out our day. I feel like I've covered just some basics. Tonight's meal of the day is going to be a ratatouille, an eggplant ratatouille. I'm going to grill up some chicken, maybe have a fresh salad on the side of cabbage and apples and onions. That is kind of my go-to for a fresh side salad. We love that in the summertime and winter. Cabbage is amazing. But I got some yummy eggplant from a sweet friend of mine yesterday, so I'm so excited to make that ratatouille and to share it with a friend who is sick today. So I hope that this has blessed you. And you know, if you know me personally, reach out to me. You can always text me your questions if you don't want to do it live in the comments. I'm happy to chat. And just to help you, because I do believe the Father wants this community. He wants you to know that you are supported, that you have resources available to you, that you can take advantage of, and that you can heal. You can heal, and we can do this together. So I hope you've been greatly blessed by this, and I guess until next time, may you experience great shalom. Shalom, shalom. Until next time. Bye-bye.